What's going on, guys? Welcome back to NLX. My name is Jake, and today I am back with another Hogwarts Legacy video. And this time we are talking about combat. Now, I know we only have the one trailer to go off of, but this trailer tells us more about combat than you might think. The first scene I want to talk about takes place in this dungeon-looking environment. Here we see a Ravenclaw student, likely the player character, being charged by a large troll. If you look closely, you can see the player character does some kind of dodge or roll at the very last second to avoid the attack. I believe this confirms the game will have some sort of dodge mechanic. In the next shot, we see that not only will you be able to dodge enemy attacks, but you'll also be able to block. And this block looks amazing. If you look closely, you can see the rocks on the ground are sent flying as the impact from the attack collides with our magic shield. I think this gives the combat a real sense of weight and power, but it remains to be seen if this is a static block that you'll be able to raise and lower whenever you want, or if this is a timing-based parry system that you'll have to time correctly in order to use. At first, I thought this was more of a parry, but upon further review, you can actually see that the spell was cast well before the actual contact was made. This leads me to think that this is a simple shield spell that can be cast and is active until you receive damage, sort of similar to the Quinn sign from Witcher 3. Only time will tell how this spell actually works, but I'm super excited to find out. The next scene I want to talk about takes place in what seems to be a dark wizard's hideout. We still don't know if this guy is some sort of big bad for the game or if he's just one of many dark wizards we may come in contact with. My gut tells me there will be many enemies that look like this guy and that this is simply one of the enemy types we'll fight. But back to combat, here we see the player character casting a spell that lifts the enemy off the ground and then slams them back down. If I had to guess, this game will feature various spells like this, and it will either operate on a cooldown system or a mana system that will limit how often you can use these spells. This is the first spell we've seen that's used specifically for combat aside from what I assume is the basic attack. Which leads me to the third and final scene I want to talk about. Here we see our player character trading spells with the same enemy from the previous scene. Most likely, this scene is showing us what our base attack will look like. We can also clearly see the enemy and our character deflecting those attacks. I wonder if we'll have to time our spell parry in order to deflect those attacks, or if we'll simply have to hold a block button and the spells will be deflected automatically. I personally hope it's a more skill-based system, such as having to time your parry, but if it is a simple block button, that does leave the possibility that there could be a parry that could deflect damage back at the enemy or something like that when timed right. We really can't say for sure without more details from the devs. So let's go over what we've seen so far. We now know that we will most likely have the ability to dodge incoming attacks. And if we're unable to dodge the attack, we have the option to use a shield spell to protect us. This trailer also shows us one of the offensive spells we'll have at our disposal, with the spell that lifts the enemy off the ground and then slams them back down. And finally, this trailer shows us what our basic attacks may look like, and not only that, it shows us that we'll have the ability to deflect incoming basic attacks as well. Honestly guys, this trailer gives us a pretty good idea of how combat will work in this game, and I can't wait to see more. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, and if you'd like to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe. I'm going to have a ton more Hogwarts Legacy videos coming in the near future, but as always guys, praise the games.